Hello my friends. Today I'm going to go through an alternative way to do a French twist that's a little quicker, a little easier, a little more modern. Perfect on hair that is a little bit shorter, hair that's treated, hair that kind of curls, works with you easily. This is certainly not going to work on someone who's got smooth, silky, fine hair that's super heavy, super long. You've got to have like damaged hair, shorter hair, just hair that holds a curl well. So I'm going to put that one out there right away, but you can get some ideas from the techniques nonetheless. So we're going to leave the front out. So we're going to do a top part to the top of the ear and just section this guy away for later. You can clip it away if you'd like on both sides to stay out of the way. And then we're gonna do 3 sections. So because this is like a quick win, I'm gonna show you the quickest way to do it. So we're gonna just take our top section, which is something that I do almost always, is kind of divide out this top crown area. And I think that just by doing this first, it gives you a lot of control in the updo, on doing detail work, on making sure your volume is right, on being able to make it look good from the front, if you save this part out to do last. Just my technique. And then the next one we're going to do is top of the ear over, so kind of dividing this in half. And we're just going to go straight across so they're fairly even. The great thing about this is you barely have to curl it. Anything that I don't have to curl, that's a win. Okay, so now we have the bottom section. We're gonna get started. So I'm just gonna do 2 quick curls, a bend in the end, like I say. So we're just bending, that just gives it a little bit of movement. If you're working on someone who maybe already had some curls in their hair from the night before, you don't even have to do this step. Okay, that's it. Now her hair is like textured to the max, but if you don't have any texture already, you're gonna blast it with texture spray. So lots of that, so you get a lot of good grip. If you feel like it really needs a lot, do it first, curl, do it more, but just get a lot in there. If you really feel like it's slippery, it needs a little more grip, then use texture powder. Okay, so we're gonna gather this into a ponytail, and we are going to put it into a ponytail almost, so around twice, and then the last time around, we're not gonna go all the way. We're just gonna leave it like so, okay? Now we're gonna do the same thing on the next section. Quick and easy. So again, divide it in half or into 3 or 4, whatever you need to give a little bend to the ends. These ends are terrible. As I'm thinking about it, I'm realizing I've had this mannequin for like, I don't know, 7 years. And what do I expect? Her ends are gonna be bad, okay? And if I cut it off, it's just gonna get really short. Okay, texture spray. You really wanna get that in there. That's really key for this one. And then I'm gonna make my next ponytail right on top of the bottom one. Use my little elastic, or like I like to say, a binder. And same thing. Do almost the ponytail, and then loop the last one through, but do not pull it through all the way. Okay, so we've got 2 kind of buns. We're gonna save this one for last. Okay, we're gonna start with the middle, simply because it's kind of easiest to work with and we can get our good balance down. So what we're gonna do is just pull this out. So we're kind of just pulling at it to make it wider. So because you have the texture spray in there, that's what's gonna help do this. If you're finding that you're trying to pull this out and it's just gaping and flopping, you need more product. So you're gonna go up the middle like this, and hold it flat against the head. So just, I'm putting 2 fingers here, light pressure, and I'm gonna go in on the sides. So my fingers are holding this down, and I'm gonna go in next to my fingers, push it toward the head, pull it over, and push it in. And then you're gonna go through and do that on the other side. So I'm grabbing the hair, pushing it toward the head, and then pushing the bobby pin in. And so that really starts to hold the, see how the bottom's holding but the top isn't? You gotta do the top pieces. So same thing, I'm just going towards the head, and then turning it in. Let me see if I can give you a quick close up here. So I hold my bobby pin, I push it towards the head like this, so it's just facing, like poking into the head, turn it, and then push it in, okay? Now you just fan that out. So it's kind of textured-y, you don't want any holes, so pull it down, pull it up, do whatever you need to do to have holes, so you don't have holes. And if you need to put a couple more bobby pins in, then do that. So if it feels like it's gapping in any areas, then just put bobby pins in where you need to. And then finish with a little hairspray. I'm gonna do the same thing down here. So I'm pulling it a little bit more out so I don't have as much ends. And then I'm gonna flatten it, getting down low. And then I'm gonna do that same technique here. I'm just grabbing the hair with the bobby pin and pushing it in kind of behind my finger. So I'm holding loosely internally and I'm pushing my bobby pin behind it. So that helps me to hold the hair in as I'm going. This is so great because it's so nice and quick. So one thing to note is if you have hair that has some curled ends that are nice, it kind of looks cute to leave them out. But this has she's got very frayed ends, so it doesn't look that cute. So I'm actually gonna tuck these up. So you can like roll them up however you want. You can hide them internally. But these, they're too frayed. We gotta get rid of them. So I think I'm gonna roll these up and put them internally. I can kind of spread that out to make a little bit of a bottom. So it's already looking pretty cute, you guys. I like that. Spray. Once you like it, don't touch it again. That is like my ultimate hack for having frizz-free, sleek updos. People touch updos too much, in my humble opinion. Don't touch them and it won't be too frizzy. Okay, so here we have some options. If you want a lot of volume, what you want to do is back comb this section first to get some lift. So you're going to back comb here, get a little bit of lift here at the root. Your hair has been back combed a million times. And then you can brush it over to kind of get the volume and lift that you want. I want to have a little bit of lift here so it's grippy, so it looks kind of soft. Texture spray is going to help get that grip. The reason I can lift this and do like that and it stays is filled with texture spray. You want to give a little curl to the end, same thing as before. If you need a little flexible hairspray to do that, that's great. Flexible hairspray is my favorite. Whichever one you like is fine. You just don't want it to be so hard that it's not brushable or workable. Okay, so we got some curls in the end here. And so I'm gonna bring this entire section up. And we can do a couple things. We can hold it here. So you can kind of see how we want to style it. Do we want to do the same technique and have another kind of perfect top? Or do we want it to be a little bit more messy? Depends on how much hair you have. If it's very thin at the top, then you might just want to use a couple bobby pins to style the top. Her hair's a little bit, it's not thick, but she's got more up here. So we're going to do the same technique with this top. Now, you want to make sure that the top has the volume that you want as you put it into the elastic. So I'm going to push this through and then go back and kind of pull it out a little bit so I have the nice lift that I want before I do any pinning. Because once you start pinning this down, there's really no going back to the top. So you want to make sure your top is good before you start pinning this part. Okay, so it's looking good. So I can already feel like it's looking cute. And I can put my 2 fingers in the middle and go right on top of where I just already had the other 2 and do the same exact technique. So if you're finding that you're seeing a lot of seeing your bobby pin on the edge, then what you want to do is, okay, my finger is inside this loop, I'm pressing it against the head. I'm going to go inside the curl And I'm gonna do the same thing that I was doing, where I'm going straight towards the head and pushing it inward, but I'm doing it inside the curl rather than on the outside. And that will help not show any bobby pins on the side. Just getting a little close. Okay, one more over here. I'm gonna do that one internally. And then this little curl here, I can tuck it away, I can bring it in. Whatever you want to do so you don't have ends that aren't nice and neat, or at least that aren't frayed, you know. Okay, and then you kind of want to pull this out, and if you have it like you want it, then you hairspray that. So I really like that. It looks pretty cute, huh? So now we have the front, and because this is kind of like a modern, softer looking French twist is what I'm looking for here. You might be able to get away with leaving more hair out. I'm gonna curl these sections and just pull, leave a little bit out in front and then pull some back. So I'll curl this side and then spray it with texture spray, and then I'm gonna pull it up, and you can pin it and let the curl stay out. You can see how this curl stays out and that looks nice. Or you can bring it up over the top and kind of hide it in, depending on how you want this to look. So if you want it to look a little more casual, then I would keep this curl out. And then it looks a little more undone and less stiff. Because sometimes French twists can look really stiff, right? Classically they did, like in the 90s. Brush through this. The piece that I'm really not talking about is the prep. And like I said, this mannequin is like prep to the high heavens, but this style isn't gonna work really quick and sleek if you don't have hair that has flexible hairspray in it, has been brushed through, has been used a lot of texture spray, that kind of thing. So keep that in mind. All right, so my last piece here is, I'm gonna twist this in and bring that up. I kind of like it pulled up and away from her face. I think that's flattering and kind of goes with this look. And so I'm pinning it just kind of into the side of this. I'm not someone who really likes symmetry in updos. Some people do, that's not me. So if both the sides are doing exactly the same thing like they are right now, I don't care for that. So I'm gonna actually bring this edge kind of up and over, because I don't wanna have that symmetry. I wanna kind of make it a little more uneven. But that's just a style choice and the way that I like things to look. So how you want it to be for yours is gonna be up entirely to you. But this is the technique that I would use. So we have this going on in the back, very cute. And then lastly, we have this piece in the front. And so we can either bring it back for like a really full look, or we can kind of have a piece down, which I think is the look I'm going for today. So I'm gonna curl it away from her face. And then just get a little lift here, break this up a little bit with my metal comb and hairspray it. I like to put my hand underneath and go up and away so she doesn't get blasted. And then you can kind of hold the curl away from her face to give it the softer look. And if you like it, you hairspray it. So my friends, that's how it looks from the front side. So you could tuck that piece in if you don't like it, but how cute is that? It's like French twist style, right? But it's not so stuffy. And you have a lot of options of how to finish it. So very cute. Anyway, if you have questions about this, post them. I will be happy to comment and send a response to you. I'm Heidi with the Updo Collective. I've got more resources on the website, updocollective.com. You can join the Facebook group, or I have some free trainings for you. And then, yeah, just join me next time. If you like this, share it with a friend. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.